G'day interwebs, I'm Bman and this is Call of Cthulhu, the official game. It was released in 2018 by Cyanide Studios and it's based on the Call of Cthulhu tabletop RPG by Chaosium. Remember to hit the subscribe button. I've never played this game before, it's a blind playthrough, but I have read Lovecraft, I've read Call of Cthulhu, and I've encountered Lovecraftian horrors in other video games. So, as with all my playthroughs, I'm going to load the game for the first time in the video so that you get to see the loading screen as well. I'm sure that's what people tune into YouTube's for. So yeah, I've got no idea what to expect. I don't know if I'm going to have to create my character, if I'm going to be this bearded guy. What do we do when we're faced with unimaginable cosmic horror? We pwn it. March right up to Cthulhu and punch him in his face. Okay, enter madness. Just gonna move my window for a second so I get a cool thumbnail. Right, let's enter the madness. Oh, there's Cthulhu. Adjust the brightness so that the darkest icon is barely visible. Now, I should really worry about the way it's going to show up for you as well, because my television's way too I've got it set to dynamic brightness. So how do I change that? Picture, normal mode. So I assume normal mode will sort of match my television, my video output. It's closer. I mean, what's barely visible? I can sort of see half of it and they'll leave it about. It's not visible on my... there it is. Yeah, that's good. Okay, new game, I guess. Chapter 1, Pierce Investigations Agency, Boston. Boston, 1924. Edward Pierce, veteran of the First World War, drowns his memories in liquor and sleeping pills. He is now a private detective who has trouble finding a case, able to lift him from his torpor. Pierce must find a new case quickly or risk losing his license. Okay, so I'm Edward Pierce, I guess, in 1924. Edward Pierce, World War veteran, detective, likes his liquor and sleeping pills. Enter the madness. If I am mad, it is mercy. May the gods pity the man who in his callousness can remain sane to the hideous end. H.P. Lovecraft. move, use the left stick. Okay, well, this doesn't look like... Was it Boston? Someone's cooking up flake. To crouch, press B. Looks like I'm looking through some sort of distortion to whatever's beyond. Right, so I guess I'm crawling through here. That looks humanoid. Counter darkness. You must light up some items in order to interact with them. I tried pressing A. Right, I'm gonna try some other buttons. B, ducks. X, no. Y, no. RB leans to one side. LB leans to one side. Right trigger does nothing, left trigger does nothing. When an object can be picked up, press A. There we go. Item obtained, hurricane lamp. I suppose I can get out of here. What was that? What am I supposed to light? A wrench. A bolt cutter. I knew that wasn't a wrench as soon as I said it. I'm like, oh, I just lost my man card. Alright, well if that is a giant humanoid statue, it doesn't... Here. No, just random rock outcrops. Now why does it tell me about lighting objects if there's nothing around here I'm supposed to light? So I don't understand, is the game like starting me 3 weeks later and then it's going to flash back to 3 weeks earlier, or is this a dream sequence, or... Let's find out.
In my wake, pulled along, fate inescapably draws you on.
Alright, that's where I was looking through from the other side of this. So now I've got the bolt cutters, can I just open any chain? but only those that further my linear progression through the storyline. Man, I wondered whether or not they capture the Call of Cthulhu has a lot of stuff in it about geometries not appearing right, just things not appearing right, and all the distortions sort of capture that.
What a putrid offering.
To run, hold down left trigger. Just going to adjust my sound. I want a horror game to be loud. Left trigger to run in case I suddenly need to. Expect objects to be interactable, but none of them are. Apart from the bolt cutter and the lantern.
Behold. Everything has already been written. But perhaps you will attempt to change your destiny.
Dream sequence. Sort of detective are you if you hate whiskey? New place discovered. Pierce Consultations Agency. Pierce Investigation Agency. Guess what? This is an RPG, so I'm going to be reading stuff. I am, because I've been playing Pokemon, which may have a child audience, so I'll read it aloud to spare you having to read it. 20th of October 1924. Pierce Investigation Agency. The doctor can well repeat to me that I no longer need my remedy, quote, remedy, to keep my memories at bay, but I know that if I stop, the memories will return. One of these mornings, I probably won't wake up. Despite the treatment, I again hear voices in my dreams, but they are different, unknown. They seem to surface from unfathomable and ancient depths. What nameless creature is calling me? Alright, so that's Pierce, that's me, I guess, and there's my, I guess it's a skill tree. Know a little bit of occultism and medicine, a little bit more psychology and eloquence. Spot hidden. Alright, I've got 0 character points. Skills and sanity. Alright, I've read about sanity in the Call of Cthulhu RPG, so I guess I can slowly go insane from mental trauma. Edward Pierce is a veteran of the First World War, where he took part in the Meuse-Argonne Offensive. Probably butchered the pronunciation of that. He is one of the few survivors of the Lost Battalion, American units that suffered heavy losses from enemy and Allied artillery fire. Forced to hold their position for several days, surrounded by the bodies of their fallen comrades, without food or medical supplies, the soldiers were considered as lost by their fellow countrymen. Pierce is traumatized by these events. He consumes sleeping pills. Alright, sanity is stable. Confident in your abilities and your Cartesian mind, you conduct your investigation by sticking to the facts, your convictions and your perception of reality. Your conclusions are logical and reliable. Take it by Cartesian mind, they're making an allusion to Lovecraft, always talking about twisted geometries. That's all I can think of. The only way I know the term Cartesian is Cartesian coordinates. Darkwater, don't have any information yet. Places. Pierce Investigations Agency. My private detective agency contracted to the Wentworth Detective Agency. After the Great War, I decided to set up in Boston where there is no lack of work for guys like me. One small-time case follows the other. Adultery, settled scores, disappearances that are not actually disappearances. The old office couch is less comfortable than a real bed, and I should probably get rid of these empty bottles. But this place is mine for the moment. Occult. Don't have any information yet. Clues, Chapter 1, nothing. Inventory, a lather. My old lather that I engraved in memory of the 77th Infantry Division and the men of the Lost Battalion who fell. So it says Lost Battalion, 10th, 7th, 18th. Knowledge, nothing. I know nothing. John, etc. Wonder if this music's getting me a copyright claim. Car horn. Okay, I like bugs, I guess.
I wonder why I still take these things.
The doctors prescribed them when I returned from the war. They swore that they would put an end to the nightmares, but for a while now their effect has been wearing off. Use with caution. Descriptive name. No, I can't read it.
Been too long since I've slept in a bed. Been too long since I've slept in a bed. The Lost Battalion. Holding your position and obeying orders. That isn't courage.
California, Alaska. Something Voyager.
I used to be an avid reader.
What am I looking at? Certificate of Membership, Wentworth Agency, United States Detective Agency of Boston, Massachusetts.
The Wentworth Agency doesn't attract top-notch cases.
Okay, it's October 1924.
Married woman runs off with her girlfriend. The husband couldn't understand it.
The husband never understood that his wife had left him. He kept on calling me weeks after the investigation had been closed.
A good old story of blackmail in a speakeasy.
The bar owner who hired me didn't like the way I closed this case, but when you're already outside the law, there's not a lot one can do against a private detective who's got proof against you. I don't take things in well enough when I'm doing Let's Plays.
Natural sciences, linguistics, archaeology.
Game saved.
I should get rid of all this stuff.
Well, I've explored everything, I guess. What's this?
Been a while since I jotted down something other than my nightmares.
A notepad. There we go. Nope, that's stuff I've already read. Inventory. Knowledge. Sleeping pills. Husband never understood the wife had left him for a woman. The bar owner who hired me didn't like the way I closed this case, but when you're already outside the law, there's not a lot you can do against a private detective who's got proof against you. Alright, so that guy was running a speakeasy. Inspect. It just rotates it. So why did it tell me to come in here? Inventory, maybe? Nope. I'm going to not drink because I just woke up from a crazy nightmare. US has voted dry. Is that prohibition?
I'm listening.
Are you Edward Pierce, private investigator contracted by the Wentworth Detective Agency?
That's correct.
Hello, Mr. Pierce. I'm Lucy Sherifield, in charge of investigators over at Wentworth. I'm calling because of a problem with your file. A fire has destroyed some of our documents.
Is that right?
I'm so very sorry, but I have to collect your personal information yet again.
Oh, I get to do stuff. Okay, I need 6 CP to up my strength. Am I going to miss stuff if I don't have a high occultism or investigation? Locate your character points. Each character point allows you to improve the score of a skill 8 character points. I can improve my medicine and my occultism with 2 points each. Oh no, occultism takes 4 points. I'm a novice. Medicine represents your medical knowledge. Improving this skill increases your chance of determining the dosage of a drug, or of making a diagnosis, or of expressing your understanding of a medical problem. Occultism represents your knowledge of the occult sciences. Improving this skill increases your chance of determining the use and origin of occult artifacts and of expressing your knowledge of the myth. You know, I feel like I was like min-maxing by taking occultism because I don't know if this guy knows anything about the occult. And I'm just projecting onto him that I want him to know about the occult because I know there is going to be a lot of stuff about the occult in this game. But the dude has archaeology books on his shelf, so he would know myths and things. Psychology represents your knowledge of human behavior. Improving this skill increases your chance of understanding the motivations of a person based on his or her behavior or on the analysis of objects. Spot hidden represents your ability to find hidden objects. Improving this skill increases your chance of finding hidden objects. An undiscovered object will not appear in game. Alright, so just more objects will flat out appear if I pick that. Eloquence represents your ability to influence those you talk to by your power of speech. Improving this skill increases your chances of convincing or manipulating during discussions. Does it give me extra dialogue in dialogue trees though? Investigation represents your investigating talents. Improving this skill increases your chance of understanding past events by analysing a crime scene or an object and of picking locks. Okay, I'm tempted to put up my medicine, occultism, and spot hidden. I think I'll do that. I think investigation and eloquence would obviously be handy, but psychology, I think maybe what's this, 4 CP for more psychology, 2 CP for more spot hidden. So basically I've got to choose between psychology or occultism if I want to take spot hidden and medicine. I mean, a detective would need psychology. He's already got 2. Maybe he's sort of an occult detective. Alright, I can add or remove. Add. that's just adding 1 CP. Gotta press it multiple times to get up to the next level. So I could slowly level things if I wanted to. But I don't. Amateur occultist, yeah, that makes sense. Amateur psychologist. Amateur spot hidden. Should have really named that better. So I'm a professional at strength. Represents my ability to call on physical power. Improving this skill increases my chances of forcing doors or mechanisms or of using violence during interactive discussions. Does that mean there's no combat? Just intimidation during discussions? Alright, 2, yeah. Yeah, no, that's fair. Alright, validate. Let's continue this game. Let's pwn some cosmic horror. Do you really want to validate this character points attribution?
Thank you for this information, Mr. Pierce. Our files will soon be up to date. And on a related matter, may I raise a sensitive question?
What's wrong?
As you know, we wish to closely monitor the progress of our contractors. And it would seem you've been accepting fewer new cases.
Work is scarce.
Mr. Pierce, you know as well as I do, there's never been more investigative work than now.
But are those cases worth it?
They're worth not losing your license. Show yourself worthy of the Wentworth Detective Agency, and we might keep you on the payroll. Mr. Pierce, are you still...
I'm coming.
Better look to everything before I picked up the phone.
Sir, I came here on the advice of a person whom I hold in high esteem, and I must say that I expected anything but a drunkard's lair.
You're free to leave anytime, sir.
Do you know to whom you speak?
Stephen Webster, industrialist and art collector. All of Boston knows you.
Tell me, Mr. Pierce, are you capable of handling a new case, or are you simply a deadbeat inebriate?
If you come to me, it means you're desperate.
Nobody believes me. They take me for an old fool. Sarah, my little girl, she is dead. Even you must know of her. She was Sarah Hawkins.
The painter? Yes. Everyone knows her work.
The police accuse her of killing her family. They all died in a fire. Sarah, her husband, and Simon, my grandson.
I can't do anything for a woman who is already dead.
Find out the truth. They say she was mad, but I know that's a lie. She would never have done such a thing.
But if you have no proof...
I've brought all that I have. Look. I want you to look carefully at this painting. Tell me all the assumptions that come to mind.
What am I supposed to find?
Tell me if this is the work of madness. Or if, on the contrary, you manage to detect some logic, a rationality to follow so that I may understand it.
Is that all you want from me?
Yes, please.
All right. I'll look at your picture. That's all you've got? The painting?
I placed a file on your desk. It contains everything I have on the affair.
Examine the painting and examine the Hawkins file. Your notebook details your current objectives. Alright, where's my notebook? This. I don't know if you can hear that crackling. I can. The doctor can well repeat to me that I no longer need my remedy to keep my memories at bay. Despite the treatment, I again hear voices in my dreams, but they are different, unknown. They seem to surface from unfathomable and ancient. Yeah, I already read that. unfathomable and ancient depths, what nameless creature is calling me? A strange picture painted by Sarah Hawkins a short while before her tragic death was sent to her father just after the artist died. He is convinced that she is the sender. He brought me the painting so that I could examine it. Stephen Webster, the wealthy industrialist, came to my office. He wants me to reopen the Sarah Hawkins case named after his daughter who died in a fire alongside her entire family. I must examine the documents he compiled in order to know more about the case. It says the left button to navigate objectives, but it's not letting me go down to examine the painting. Left stick, sorry. Alright, so this Hawkins guy, Webster. The Webster guy, he sounds like the narrator from Call of Cthulhu. He's pretentious and stuck up. Pierce does not sound like any Lovecraft character I know. He sounds more like a hard-bitten detective novel guy. Okay, well I don't know how to get down to the other... Oh, hang on. Right, Pierce Investigation Agency is a heading, and examine the painting and examine the Hawkins files are subheadings, so... Yeah, okay. Let's examine this file. Actually, I'm gonna have a look at this painting without interacting with it. So it's the 1920s, and apparently painting an extremely metal painting is some sort of evidence of insanity. That would make a kick-ass album cover. Alright, let's look in his file. Whoops, he left it on the other side. Maybe I should take a big swig of scotch in front of him. I wonder if he would have, if I was stinking of scotch, if he would have noticed. Alright. Old guy, young guy, and a girl. The shanty, marriage on Darkwater.
A warehouse on Darkwater. Some sketches of the Hawkins family. Rather thin.
A shipping label. Some of it is unreadable, but I can make up part of the address. Warehouse 36, Darkwater. The police report. It says that the fire started in the dining room and claimed the whole family. The police decide on a domestic accident, but they nevertheless insist on Sarah Hawkins' mental frailty. Why? A press cutting. An article written about the marriage of Sarah and Charles Hawkins, a businessman from the island of Darkwater. They live a recluse life with their only son, Simon. Right, that's it, I guess. New clue memorized. Let's have a look at how it presents itself. Clues, Chapter 1, Files on the Sarah Hawkins case. Pretty much what I just read. Okay.
Its strange beauty isn't enough to hide the feeling of dread it carries.
So, Mr. Pierce, what do you make of these elements?
Let's get some information.
Darkwater. Never heard of the place. Where is that?
It's a small, remote island off the coast of Boston. Sarah lived there with her son and her husband.
I suppose you want to ship me off there.
Darkwater holds the secret regarding my daughter, Mr. Pierce. You must uncover it.
Find out about Warehouse 36. What does the exclamation mark mean? I'm going to ask about his mental fragility, because I don't know if the exclamation mark means that I will break the... like, I will leave this set of questions permanently. I want to find out about her mental fragility first.
You must tell me if what the police suggest about the mental state of your daughter is true.
No. Sarah had visions. Everyone knew that. She never would have hurt a fly. She only thought she saw things.
Saw things? What do you mean by that?
I never knew what she meant by that. My daughter was an enigmatic figure, Mr. Pierce. You must find out the truth about her life and death.
Cool. Back to the same thing. Back to the same selection. So now I will find out about Warehouse 36.
The sender's label mentions Warehouse 36.
That's right. It came with Sarah's last painting.
And you think your daughter could have been the sender?
That is what you must find out. Go to Darkwater. Find Warehouse 36.
I can either tell him that that's all the information I need. He's asking the wrong guy, which doesn't seem like a very good self-recommendation from a detective. Or something's not right with the story, which is labelled investigation/professional, so maybe that's... yeah, it's the only one that has a label, so maybe that's been unlocked by my investigation skill. Something's not right with this story.
Her husband was a big deal on the island. But the police are sticking to the accident theory. Though they mentioned Sarah's mental state was fragile. I believe you are right, sir. This case is not as simple as it appears.
I am aware of that. I believe there is more to this case than just an accident.
Okay, that's all the information that I need. Guess I'm going to Darkwater.
I think I'm beginning to understand.
I'm willing to do anything for my daughter to recover her honor.
Quiet down. I'm on your side. Let's sum things up. An artist dies with her family in a house fire. Your only clue is a sort of promontory painting sent from Darkwater right before her death.
Correct. And the rumors about her supposed folly.
Which you don't totally deny.
Find that warehouse. Find out the truth regarding Sarah Hawkins' death. You will be handsomely compensated.
All right. I'll take the case. I'll go to Darkwater and look into the death of your daughter.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce. I didn't expect any less coming from a man in your situation.
Something's queer. But it's not like I have a choice. Darkwater. I think I've got a book on the North Atlantic. I'll no doubt find some information on this island in there.
That Webster jerk was totally dissing me when he told me I didn't have much choice but to take the case. Alright, so told me to look in here. Inhabitant Stephen Webster, age 63, occupation businessman. A wealthy businessman, well respected in the Boston area. Stephen Webster came to see me in order that I investigate the death of his only daughter, Sarah Hawkins. The man accepts neither refusals nor inconvenient truths. He is ready to do anything to prove that his daughter was not mad. Charles Hawkins, 41, occupation shop owner. Charles Hawkins was a local celebrity on Darkwater, the heir of a ship owner family who used to travel a lot. He met Sarah Hawkins during a trip in Paris. They fell in love, got married, and Hawkins took her to the remote island of Darkwater. They had a child named Simon and lived a very secretive life. Sarah Hawkins, age 33, occupation painter, deceased. Sarah Hawkins, a painter known for her tortured artistic universe. She was worshipped for the strangeness of her work and the rarity of her public appearances. I seem to remember that she once said, "I paint what my dreams whisper to me." Her marriage to Charles Hawkins years ago surprised high society columnists. A wealthy Boston heiress, known for her party-going, chooses to follow her new husband and live as a recluse on the island of Darkwater. She disappeared from the front pages of newspapers and nobody heard any more about her. Even her death in a fire remained a secret. Only her father, Stephen Webster, continues to seek the truth. Simon Hawkins, by the way, I did notice that actually says only her father, Stephen Webster, continue seek the truth. Simon Hawkins, age 11, occupation schoolboy, only son of Sarah and Charles Hawkins. He died in the fire that claimed his family. Right, and if I go to the right, Cult, Art of Sarah Hawkins. Intuitive and visionary art for some, overpriced imposter. Pardon me. Intuitive and visionary artist for some, overpriced imposter for others. Sarah Hawkins leaves nobody indifferent. This mysterious and reserved painting offers strange images with violent colours and wild strokes to the world. If her paintings are testimony to her vision of the world, then the world of Sarah Hawkins is a portal open to other dimensions. Extract from the notebook of Edward Pierce, private detective. So I'm like an alcoholic pill popper, but I'm also a bit of a poet. Alright. Painting by Sarah Hawkins. This painting depicts a monstrous silhouette threatening a woman and child. Okay, I didn't even see the child. Okay, so it's probably a picture of Sarah and her son. Flames can be made out in the background. Stephen Webster, the father of Sarah Hawkins, thinks that it is linked to the death of his daughter. What's his son's name? Simon. Sarah, Simon, and Charles. Do I want to have a drink?
Natural sciences, linguistics, archaeology.
Right, that book wasn't lit up before, so that's probably it.
I used to be an avid reader. The Lost Battalion. Holding your position and obeying orders. That isn't courage.
Okay, so he's disillusioned with his military service.
The Wentworth Agency doesn't attract top-notch cases.
Look at this book.
Darkwater is off the coast of Boston.
This is the book.
But I've never heard of it. According to this book, it was often mentioned during whale hunting times at the end of the 19th century. But it seems to have been shunned since then.
Darkwater Island has been inhabited since the 14th century and is still rich with the many memories left by its lost tribes. But don't let the romanticism of these moving evidences of such naive and primitive beliefs fool you into forgetting how violent their gods were. A gigantic creature still ornates the walls of long-abandoned caves. Was it a sea or a dream god? No one knows, but today's inhabitants, the sons and daughters of the proud whale hunters, still remember the mysterious and tumultuous story of their small land off the coasts of Massachusetts.
All I have to do is go to the port. I just hope that I can find a boat able to take me to Darkwater.
Alright, the only thing I'm not sure I haven't checked is this book on this chair. Did I look at this map?
I should get rid of all this stuff.
So is that Boston? Yes. Charles River. Wonder where Cheers is. Oh, there we go. The Learning of Medicine, Volume 1. A dense work aimed at interns and young practitioners. This first volume lists all illnesses known in the civilized world. It details the symptoms and suitable treatment. So did I find that now because I upped my investigation skill or my find items, whatever it's called? Medicine progression. The medicine and occult skills can only be improved by objects discovered in the environment. Well, that's weird because I already improved them. I guess that's why they're yellow and everything else is purple. So I'm sort of glad I upped them while I had the chance. But I probably wasted points because that probably would have upped my medicine. Whatever. Why does it say there's something new places? Island of Darkwater. It would seem that the world has forgotten the very existence of this isolated rock off the coast of Boston. It is a small, inhospitable island whose coastline is made up of steep cliffs and sharp reefs, and with only one outlet to the sea. It is mainly inhabited by the descendants of whalers who set up a supply post there in the 1800s. It was hit severely by the collapse of this activity. I think that the only venture on the island that is still profitable is its medical institute. RB. Knowledge. Atlas of Atlantic Islands. Darkwater Island has been inhabited since the 14th century and is still rich with... I read this already. Medicine book. Every illness known in the civilized world. In one book. Because they didn't know many illnesses back in the 1920s. Alright, well I guess I've explored my whole office. Just got the character point. Chapter 2, Darkwater Port. Pierce took the Hawkins case. The cursed artist is accused of having caused the fire that killed her and her family. As the only clue, she left her father a disturbing painting. On the shipping label, an address, a warehouse set on the docks of the island of Darkwater. The place seems to be the starting point for Pierce's investigation. So I don't have to go to Darkwater, I don't have to catch a boat or anything, I'm just going to be... I don't know. No assumptions. Loading time. Come on, little green bar. I haven't really been paying enough attention to whether my face cam is covering up important things on my video. Should pay more attention to that. Into the madness.
Almost there.
2.
Stay on board. There's guys coming to unload. Welcome to Darkwater Island, Mr. Pierce.
Why, thank you, Captain Fitzroy.
So, what wind brought you?
Does the Hawkins case mean anything to you?
A sad story that we would all prefer to forget. Charles Hawkins may have been a landlubber, but he was a good man.
And his wife, Sarah Hawkins.
A nice young woman, and a great painter. What a tragedy. You know what? Go have a drink at the Stranded Whale. What you need is a good pick-me-up. Mitchell may not be very welcoming, but his bar holds a surprise for you. As for me, you'll find me at the Harbor Master's office. If it's the Hawkins family that brings you here, I have a pile of documents that should interest you.
Understood. I'm going for a look around the docks.
Alright, game save, so I'm going to have to remember all that stuff you just said to me next time I play it, because this is the end of part 1, so it's the end of my video. But I will definitely continue to play this game because, like, I don't support some of the stuff that Lovecraft wrote, but he has this mythos that of all of these different creations, and he's allowed other writers to add to the mythos and to use his creations, which is over the last 100 years caused this thing where now Lovecraft's creations are all through other sorts of media, like Stephen King mentions him. He's in certain other like video games and television franchises. Like you might have seen Cthulhu in South Park. So yeah, anyway, that was my first Call of Cthulhu video. I am Bman Pwnz on pretty much everything. YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Don't know if I'm missing anything. So remember to hit the subscribe button. Whoops, that way. Remember to hit the subscribe button. Remember to like, comment, and share if you want to. Then feel free to do that. And I will see you in my next video. Peace out, Internet.